So the first thing we're going to talk about is how to perform a dumbbell bent over row. So the first thing you want to do is grab a set of dumbbells and then stand with your feet about shoulder width apart, making sure to hold a dumbbell in each hand. It's good to have a slight bend in the knees, and then you're going to bend over at the waist, making sure to keep your back straight. You don't want to bend over more than a 45-degree angle. Then you're going to let the dumbbells go in front of you, and then you are going to contract your back, bend your arms, and pull both the dumbbells up to about your rib cage, making sure to hold there for 1 second, 1 to 2 seconds in the top position, and then lower the dumbbells back to the starting position. So common bent over dumbbell row errors are the obvious rounding of the back and the hyperextension of the neck. Then we have the elbows not going back far enough, and then we have the elbows going back too far. Basically, we're pulling the dumbbells in too deep, causing the torso to twist. So your shoulder is going to naturally turn as your muscles contract to pull in your scapula, but there should be minimal movement in your lower torso. So those are some common errors associated with the bent over dumbbell row. We can now regress the bent over dumbbell row by using bands. Or progress it by doing a plank version of the bent over row. So now we're going to discuss how to perform a supinated curl. The first thing we're going to do is make sure we're standing with our feet about shoulder width apart and a set of dumbbells in each hand by our sides. We want to ensure that our elbows are close to our torso and that our palms are facing forward in the supinated position. At that point, we're going to make sure that we exhale as we curl the weights up to about our shoulder, and then making sure that our biceps are contracting. After we hold the weight there for a brief pause, we're going to inhale and then slowly lower the weights back into starting position. So common errors for supinated curls or bicep curls are obviously half repping, and that usually happens when the weights are a little bit too heavy. And then there's the other use of momentum to perform the exercise. So we see a lot of people kind of throwing their arms up and down in order to perform the exercise. Usually that means that, again, the weights are too heavy. And then one really crucial mistake is neglecting the wrists. So of course, curls are meant to focus on the biceps, but wrist control is extremely necessary in order to properly control the weight. So if we don't have good wrist control, we can really hurt ourselves while performing this exercise. So again, we can regress curls by using bands as well, as I've demonstrated here. A progression for the bicep curl or the supinated curl would be doing an alternating variation and making sure that we are alternating at the top of the movement versus the bottom. To perform a lat pull down, it's essential that we are seated properly before the machine. So one thing we want to do is adjust the pad so it sits snugly on our thighs, and this is to minimize body movement. Once we're seated properly, then we're going to grasp the bar with about a wide grip, making sure to look forward with our torso upright. Once you have the bar gripped, you're going to retract your shoulder blades and pull the bar down in front of you about to your upper chest area. Make sure that you squeeze your lats at the bottom of the move. We want to make sure that it's your back muscles that are performing the workout and not your arms. We then also want to resist the temptation to lean back to aid movement. Common errors include not bringing the weight all the way down to your chest area, allowing your shoulders to internally rotate at the bottom, or leaning back in order to bring the weight down and using momentum to do so. Lat pull downs can be regressed by lowering the weights, or they can be progressed by performing a single arm lat pull down, or once you're able to do them effectively, you can make your way up to attempting pull-ups. So in this example, I'm performing a single dumbbell pullover. What we're going to do is grip a dumbbell with both hands, extend your arms over your chest while gripping the dumbbell. We want to make sure that our elbows are slightly bent and want to keep them as soft as possible. The next thing we're going to do is make sure that our core is engaged, our back is straight and strong, and then we're going to inhale and extend the weights back and over your head. It's going to take about 3 seconds to reach full extension where the weights are behind your head, but you want to make sure the weight is not below your head. Once you reach full extension, you're going to exhale slowly and then bring your arms back up to the starting position, which is over your chest. So common errors include arcing of the spine during extension. You want to make sure that you keep your core tight and your lower back pressed against the bench to avoid injury. Another common error is keeping the arms too straight and elbows locked out. And then the third common error is actually bending at the elbow too much and turning the workout into a skull crusher, which engages the triceps instead of the chest. Regressions include taking this workout to the floor. It just takes pressure off of your lower back. And then you can progress this workout by performing what I'd like to call a bridge pullover. You're basically in bridge position, engaging your core, keeping your glutes engaged as well, legs at a 90-degree angle, and using a bench for upper body support.